I'm gonna wait for a few y'all to jump in. We're gonna be talking about this Marvin Sapp and this church thing. So I'm waiting on a few people to jump in. I got BJ3 that's gonna join us. So like I said, we're just gonna be talking about this Marvin Sapp thing. Matter of fact, let me know if you guys can hear me. Uh Here, I'll go to my channel and check real quick. Okay, so I can be heard. Okay. All right, so I'm going to come back out of this and I'm just going to wait uh, for a few people to join. And like I said, I got BJ3 who's supposed to be coming in to join us. So once BJ3 come in, we'll go ahead and start up everything. I got a few things queued up that I'm going to play audio and let you guys hear the actual audio. Okay, here's BJ3. The most hyped fragrance in the world. Close the door for me for a quick moment. I want everybody to understand and they're waiting on you.
My bad. I was just
No
looking
problem.
at the thing. I'm like, what I got to do? Then I realized, oh, I got to hit a button. I ain't even hit the
Yeah.
button. It was just on. And you low on my end. Let me see. Hold on.
You said I'm
Let me-
low.
Yeah, but that could be on me. Let me put my
Okay.
headphones on.
Because
Let me put my
I got
headphones on.
everything up. I don't want to turn it up too high and then have this have that. But yeah, like I said, we are joined by BJ3 is joining us. We're going to be talking about this the Marvin Sapp video where he actually um asked for the doors of the churches to be closed until the congregation came up with $20,000. But from this video I'm watching, they were asking for 40K.
40, 40, 40.
Yeah, for 40K. Originally, I thought it was 20K, but look, I have audio and video. I have actual audio because I can't show the video. And I'm gonna play that, and then we'll get back to and then I'll play that, and then we'll get back to commentary after that goes off.
Okay,
So I'm gonna play a
okay.
little bit of the part where he actually had them close up the doors and ask for the money. So here we go. Let me know if you can hear this, BJ3.
Okay.
How many can you hear this? Something from the word of the Lord tonight.
I can. It's low, but I can hear it though. I can hear it.
When you study scripture, you will notice that
Yep.
whenever God did something in the lives of the patriarchs of old, the patriarchs would pause, they would set up an altar, and they would offer up sacrifice. I asked each and every one of you how many of y'all received something from the word of the Lord. Everyone in this place said these words, I did. Because of your acknowledgement of what God did in word, there is an obligation that is attached. See, and I'm gonna pause this for a second. See, and this is how these pastors do. They'll come up with certain scriptures that they know that's in a certain biblical scripture to make the congregation feel guilty about donating. So just listen to this. In biblical days, they offered livestock, grain. That was a type of currency. Note, if you will, I did not say money. I said currency. And this is what God is saying for at least 1,000 of you in the building. And this is simple. I'm not going to challenge you the way Bishop did, but I know that there's 1,000 individuals under the sound of my voice that can do what I'm about to challenge you all to do. This is simple. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge will be $20,000. And this is why I said
Yes.
and this is why I
Started there.
originally said $20,000 because from this video he asked them for
Hmm.
20,000, but on the actual
Yeah.
video it's saying 40K.
Right. I mean,
And
I don't know how far into it he changes it, but hey, we
he
grew up
probably
in church,
changed it
so
to
that might
he
have been
probably
30
got the
minutes
key and
later.
was like, you know what, we're gonna make it 40.
Yeah, ain't no telling. Ain't no
Yeah.
telling.
So I'll finish playing that. It's probably like maybe a minute or two more. It's actually a 4-minute video, but I'll let it play for another minute, and then we'll get back to the commentary.
Okay.
I'm about to challenge you all to do will be $20,000. Now, for those of us who are on the dais, I'm taking you higher, so put it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's sweating like a motherfucker.
I'm a strong believer
He just
that
finished
leaders
preaching. He just
lead
finished doing his,
not only in
you know,
time,
trying to earn his
not
keep.
only in
This is how.
talent,
This is what he want that
but
40
also
for.
in treasure.
That preaching he just did.
Go ahead, say that again, BJ3.
I said that's what he want that 40 for. That preaching he just did.
Yeah, he up there sweating like a motherfucker, trying to get that 20K up out of that congregation. But here we go.
Leaders lead in time, talent, and treasure. I was taught a long time ago that it costs to sit up here. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them
He
doors.
said it costs to sit up there.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna lead together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant.
Okay. If I decide to hit the restaurant,
There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's a
there you go.
thousand that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here,
Okay, that's what it was. So he was asking for the 1,000 from the congregation and the 1,000 that was on the line. So he basically was double dipping. He worked
Everybody
that.
looking, everybody watching.
Yeah, he
If
said
you
whoever
seen this
watching gonna
sermon I
donate
just
20.
did, right?
But yeah, before we talk, we'll finish letting this play
Pay
out,
per
and then we'll
view.
go back to the commentary. Here we go.
here, we've all sowed and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come, 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 come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on the, take your phone and stick it on the bucket.
Okay, for those who's watching, we sitting here listening to the part where Marvin Sapp had the church had them close the church doors, and this is when he was asking the congregation and then the people online to donate, this money. After so basically, hold on, and before we get started, I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We got a few people watching, so definitely comment in the comments section. So and tell me what you guys think about this situation. So, but like I said, I'll let the rest of this play and we'll get back to commentary. You should see him folding up the money. Oh, he pulled his little money out.
Giving is worship. Giving is worship. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. I'm about to go get in my truck. I'm going to my hotel. I got me some fruit, fruit. I'm doing fruit now. Fruit water. I'm trying to look at us. Yeah. Now,
Nigga, when you need some water as bad as you're sweating.
open the doors. Y'all walk out the door after you come up here. But make sure you come this way before you go out the door. That's it. Look at God. Look at what God has done. Hallelujah.
Okay, I'm gonna go in there and pause it to come out and we can get the commentary.
Let's
But
talk.
yeah, there we go, BJ3. So give me your opinion. You heard him lock the door, you heard him lock in the congregation. You heard him ask for the congregation and for everyone who was online. He said it was 1,000 people online and there was over 1,000 that was there in person. So give me your thoughts, BJ3, on what you heard.
So my thoughts on what I heard was uh, an individual that was comfortable asking for money, pretty much demanding money. Demanding. He was demanding that the congregation uh, gave him
Yeah,
money.
because I ain't gonna
Now
say he was asking, he was demanding. He said,
he was
close
demanding.
them doors.
So listen. Okay. Let me. If you allow me to retort.
Go
So
ahead,
look.
speak your piece.
So all right. So I grew up. My mom sang, in a quartet, gospel quartet. So we went from
Right.
church to church, and we was at church till 12:30. Some Sundays. And I'm saying all that to say um, people get paid for singing the gospel,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So a lot of times certain ministers have a certain fee that is I won't say required. That it takes to get them there. So I guess that is required. So it sounds like he when they whatever they offering that they didn't have enough, and he wanted to raise his fee, and also usually they raise the fee, and they also usually leave a nice amount for the church as well. That's
Yeah, see,
like
but
one
in
of the
this,
perks.
but let me interrupt for 1 second. But in a situation like that, BJ3, the church should have
Yeah,
they should have already had that money up front to pay that pastor. You see what
of
I'm saying
course,
for what he preached for. You know what I mean? They
of
should have
course.
had that. They shouldn't have to close the doors, lock the doors. Because pretty much
So let me get
that's like
there.
that's like kidnapping.
Yes,
You
yes.
know what I mean?
So
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 so they
I
kidnapped the
agree.
congregation and they did not open up the doors until they gave
Nah.
that 40K. So
So
so go ahead and I'll finish letting you elaborate on what you were saying.
you're 100% correct. So all I was saying was he was trying to raise the fees, but now the flip side, because I've seen, they go to the back in the deacons count, and they come back out like, we need blah 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 blah. So then you
Right,
get,
right,
you get elders like, all right, we need somebody to do it, honey. They do that, they do that. But
right.
when you get to the point where you talking about lock the doors, and that's exactly what I text my brothers when they sent this video. I'm like, at that point, it's kidnapping. Like, cause
Yeah,
when you just because you say you can't leave until, and I know I was raised to give off my heart. If I don't feel it, then it ain't even genuine. It ain't even no point of doing it. So at that point, I'm already turned off. So it's like whoever with me, I'm like, I'm out. Now,
yeah.
when I get to the door, the usher has to make a decision. Like, what you doing? Because I'm leaving.
Because see, because how he put it was like once you make your
Man,
donation, then you can leave. But
nah.
let me say this, BJ3. We've all attended church. We've all done been to church and been to church homes, and we've been there on the church pastor's anniversary. Where he done, where they
for
collected a little bit more money. The
the
pastor played
for the
around
roof,
twice. You see what I'm saying for the
right? For the
pastor's
roof
anniversary
and
on the
for something
pastor's
else,
day. You
right?
know what I mean? So we've all done been there and had to and saw the plate go around twice, but I've
Yeah,
never been at
yeah.
a church where I saw the pastor
Nah.
tell
Talking about lock
the
the door.
deacons to lock the door.
What?
That's like I said, that's kidnapping.
All day, all
And
day.
basically kidnapping and holding them for hostage is what
Yeah,
he
and
did.
that's it's a couple different terms. Intimidation.
Yeah.
I mean, we can pull up a couple different terms that was, man. Man, what you talking about, man? I'm leaving. At that point, it's like I'm done. Ain't no sense of listening to nothing else. Ain't no sense of talking about nothing else. And like I said, it's on the usher now. Cause are you about to try to stop me? Cause I'm
Right.
leaving. Cause now, cause what we about to, what we doing? Unlock the door.
Right. So look, I
Unlock the
need for
door.
you
I'm
guys
walking
to
out.
like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Man,
Tell us, give us your opinion on what you think. Was Marvin Sapp wrong? Was the church wrong for and like I said, we've all been at churches where, they had certain days where like I said, it may have been the pastor's anniversary or something like that. Where they asked us to donate a little bit more than usual. But
right.
I've never heard of anything like
Lock the
this. This was
doors.
wild. You know
Man,
what I
you out
mean?
your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
they
you go to
tripping.
church, it says you're supposed to give from the heart. They're not
Right.
supposed to have a select amount that they want you to give. So that just lets you know. Church have turned into a big church is a big business. We know that.
It's been that way though.
Over a thousand people in the church and over a thousand that was online. Pretty much that's a mega church. I would actually have to go and do my research on the actual church, where he was preaching at, or doing his gospel at that Sunday, But like I said, I've never heard a pastor ask for the deacons to lock the door, until they came up with a certain amount. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
Crazy.
BJ3. So yeah, in that situation, you said you would have just got up and walked out, huh?
It would have been done. I would have left. And then again, like I said, the decision would have been on the uh on the usher at the door. Like,
Right.
what you gonna do, man? Because
And
I'm
my
leaving out.
thing is, I want to, and we'll probably hear about this, sooner than later. I wanted to actually get that 40,000. I'm quite sure they probably did.
Oh, they got some numbers. I'm sure
Yeah,
he may come out with
hopefully
an
over.
apology. I'm wondering if he may come out with an apology or some or a
Yeah, but
misunderstanding or blah blah blah. But
well,
that was a lot.
I guarantee you, he's not going to apologize for that. Because I don't think he was sorry for that. He went out there, he had a point that he was trying to prove, and he had a goal that he was trying to get, and he
Right.
was going out there trying to get that goal. He was a very aggressive with the congregation. So I want you guys to comment. Let me know. Have you ever heard, of a pastor, locking the doors? We've all heard of the pastor, asking for, I'm not going to say a certain amount of money, but we've heard them ask for, like, the
Building
pastors,
fund.
like I said, his anniversary or things like that. Go ahead, BJ3.
Now I was just saying, you know how they pass it around a couple times because you got the building fund, you got the
Right.
mother's board,
Exactly.
you got the youth, trying to send these kids to this camp right here over the summer, but lock the doors, nigga.
Lock the doors out there. Right. Right. Like, niggas, you out your mind?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? I'm
Yeah.
leaving. So Usher, what you gonna do?
And like I said, I got a lot of response from the short that I did about that. So I just want to come back and talk, about it for a little bit. You know what I mean? And just get people's opinion on this. We got a bunch of people coming in and out, but no one has made any comments. So I just you know, just wanted to see what people thought about that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like I said, I guess the church is a business now. You know what I
It's,
mean?
it's been that way though, man. Since the
Exactly.
beginning of the Catholic Church, it's a business. That's why Jesus back in the days was flipping over tables. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all not supposed to be, selling stuff and trading and borrowing, bartering in the church. It's been that way for a long time.
Right. See, and I wouldn't even have, and I'm gonna be honest, I would not have had a problem, for what he asked for. It was just how he
$20, yeah,
came at it, lock the
I
doors, you know
agree.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like,
right.
hold on.
$20, all right, whatever. But lock the
Yeah.
doors. Now we talking
Right.
something different.
Now you not, it's like now you forcing me to give
You
you
taking it like you about to take
yeah,
it out of my pocket.
right, right. Like
What if I don't?
what you got deacons with guns at the door?
Right, right.
you,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you
Because if you notice, he said once you put the money in, then you can
can
leave.
leave.
Yeah. So it's like they sitting there watching who's putting in money and who's walking away trying to leave. So
Right.
but like I said, BJ3, I'm not gonna hold you up. I just want to talk about this for a hot second. It definitely was a I just wanted to get people's opinion, and I wanted to hear from other people and get their opinion on the situation. But BJ3, let everybody know where they can reach you. Let everybody know what you got going on.
So man, I do a lot of things. Basically overall, when it comes to finances, I'm your man. I can take your 401k, I can roll it over and put it to a fixed situation so you're not losing money in the market. When people have to do GoFundMe's, I'm the one who eliminate that. I can set it up to where you can leave your family, you know, much better off than what they were before, instead of having to do a fish fry to put you on the ground. So check me out. You can check me out on Facebook. I'm on Facebook at Burnell Jefferson III, agent with New York Life on Facebook. Yeah.
Can you hear me, BJ?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. I had somebody had called and it turned everything off, so I had to turn my mixing everything off. But what you done letting everybody know what you got going on and where they can reach you?
Yeah, all day. I specialize in retirement planning and creating generational wealth by establishing child accounts that they can use finances tax free for their whole life.
Okay, and then let them also know what other services that you offer too, far as life insurance.
That's part of it. Um, all of it. Like I said, I could just name off a whole lot of stuff. But when it comes to finances, where to put the money, growing up, we always wanted to know if you hit the mega, what would you do with the money? Well, I know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I know where to put the money, how to make the money grow. That's my job now. That's what I do. I make your money work for you.
Okay, well there we go. You guys definitely need to get with BJ3. He's definitely on the ball with definitely getting everybody with life insurance, and then like I said, actually making your money work with you, your 401 money. So get with BJ3. He'll be able to tell you a little bit more better than I can. He's professional and he's specialized in this. But it's been another one. Like I said, I just want to bring you guys on, get your opinion about what you thought Marvin Sapp was talking about. Was it acceptable or unacceptable for you that the church was locking the doors and did not open up the doors until they got that 40K? So, like I said, I just want to come in for a little bit and talk about it, get BJ3 opinion on it, and get you guys' opinion. But like I said, I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And it's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.